I could see the little jumps.
It's that time again. It's the Berkey and the Badger Board Game Babble Show. It's going to get wild. It's going to get wacky. It might even get a little zany. We're going to talk about board games and the board game industry. And, you know, we might talk about anything else we want to talk about.
Hey! It's the Berkey and the Badger. Welcome, Babbleites, to the Berkey and Badger Board Game Babble Show and the wonderful kingdom of Babblot. I am your Honorable King Berkey, and I am the host of this elegant podcast, which is streamed live on YouTube, direct from Babblot, where everybody is a board game enthusiast, from your humble king right down to the lowest foot soldier. Talking of the lowest of the low, here is my co-host, the Badger.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, my sire. I've been keeping your throne warm for reasons that I won't mention here.
Yes, yes. The royal throne is been warmed. And it's much appreciated in the colder part of Babblot.
Yes, it's very cold there in your part, whereas in the southeast side of Babblot, it's sunny. I've been out in t-shirt and in the garden doing stuff. But yeah, this is episode 66, before we get carried away. And in this show, we're going to be telling you what's been happening in Babblot. So we'll tell you about the snow and the sun. And then we're going to be rounding up all the things that made us go, in our news segment. Before interrogating our special guest, we have Rob McBride in our dungeon at the moment. I can't remember what he's in for. It was something nasty. So, yeah, we will get some answers out of him a bit later. And then we'll finish off with our Babble topic, where we're going to be asking, are publishers doing enough to make games look great on our table? Or do we have to do it ourselves by talking about little things that we add to our games?
Yes, and that's going to be an exciting show. And today we have a special guest with us, Rob McBride from Scyther Gaming, who has the new game on Kickstarter, Over Battle, the All-War. Welcome to the show, Rob.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here, I think. This dungeon's a little dark, so.
Well, it's not like the blue hue that is floating over my aura in my office right now. I'm not in my normal Babblot studio, so I'm in my normal office.
It's not the queen. She hasn't put like jasmine sticks or something, and she's burning incense, which has made the air go blue.
Possibly.
Or she's into Smurfs. It's a Smurf cam.
Yeah, Smurf cam. I like that. King Smurf to you. So tell us, Badger, what's been going on? It's been a while since we've talked. I know we've both been crazy busy, but what's been going on in your life?
You've been very crazy and busy. I've been working right in this zone here. As you can see, there's my keyboards. Yes, I've just wrapped up, finished the soundtrack, the soundscape, what I should be calling, for Claustrophobia 1643, after their very short run to sell the last few copies. And I am happy to say that it's done. It's copyrighted. It should be published pretty soon, so you'll be able to download it and even listen to it and stream it from Spotify and Deezer and any other kind of streaming service that you have. So yes, I can breathe a bit before cracking on with the Sirenscape version of the Claustrophobia soundscape. Which is basically, I take all the elements that I've created and I take them apart and then I put them into the Sirenscape app, and the app generates them randomly, and so you'll constantly got this ambience going around you. So and then after that, more soundtracks, but I'll have to talk about that another time.
Well, how many soundtracks have you actually done now?
All right, I've done Seventh Continent, Chronicles of Crime, and Claustrophobia.
And then you did your Last Night.
I did my Last Night, which was, a pet project of mine, to replace the one from the original Last Night on Earth game, which I felt was too 60s, and I wanted one which is more John Carpenter 80s. So that's what I did for fun, and I might even transform that into the Sirenscape app as well. So that would be ideas.
Well, I think that's really cool. We on top of our we installed an LED light just over our game topper in our basement, and it actually has a Bluetooth speaker in it. And so we've been playing a lot of ambient sounds depending on the game that we're playing, and it's just added that little extra level of experience, right?
Yeah. You got a game topper in every room, like the throne room, the bedroom.
Yeah,
probably
we sleep on a game topper.
So I know you've been busy, but can you explain to everyone what you've been up to?
Well, it's been kind of nuts. You know, we are getting ready for the next Kickstarter, Game Toppers 2.0. Crazy excited about all that. We're going to be offering European distribution of our Game Toppers. Yeah, it's going to be so exciting. 14 countries in Europe, United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand. But it's an incredible amount of work. But
Australia's not in Europe.
No, that's another continent, but it's kind of like Europe, just a different continent.
Yeah.
So that's what I hear anyway. I really don't know where it is.
The other side of the kingdom.
So yeah, the other side of the kingdom. It's actually by the left side of Florence.
Right. Across the bridge.
Yes, inconceivable. So we have been doing a ton of planning to make that happen. But one of the things that's been really cool in the process is all of the different upgrades that we are developing with new thematic game mats, new component trays, new storage solutions for the game mats. And that's been involved in the creative process with all of my vendors and has been really a lot of fun. But boy, it takes a lot of time to do all that. In the middle of all that, guess what we just went to?
GAMA.
The GAMA Trade Show in Reno, Nevada. And for those of you that don't know, the GAMA Trade Show is an industry trade show for a lot of the retailers. GAMA is the Game Manufacturers Association that kind of regulates the board game industry, so to speak, or it has some influence in connecting business partners, publishers, retailers, all of that type of thing. We had a fantastic show. It's held at the Peppermill Resort. It used to be held at the Bally's Resort in Las Vegas. This is the second year that it's been at the Peppermill in Reno out of a 4-year contract. And it's a mixed ball of wax for me because I love this resort. I know, Rob, you were there at the resort too, right?
That's wonderful.
What'd you think of the resort?
I think that it's pretty. They do a good job, and Reno being the biggest little city, so it's the Peppermill's a nice place to go.
Yeah, I love the resort. I hate going to Reno personally. It's like it's really expensive to fly in there. It's a pain to drive over there. In March, the last 2 years, both times we've had all kinds of flights canceled because of weather. So you always have, questionable weather situations that you don't know what you'll run into. Whereas Las Vegas, you're south, it's warmer, cheap flights, all of those scenarios. But it used to be held at the Bally's Resort, which just wasn't very nice. Honestly, I hated being at Bally's compared to the Peppermill. So it's kind of a trade-off. But with that all said, the show was amazing. We just built so many wonderful new relationships, hooking up with our good friends again, just to retune and have fellowship. Really great. But we also had a booth at the GAMA Trade Show as Game Toppers this year, and we actually signed up over 70 affiliates to be retailers of Game Toppers. And so that was really exciting, and working with new publishers for the upcoming show season. And it was a crazy amount of work. We were gone 9 days, and we drove there 28 hours.
Long.
So that was a bit brutal, but on the other side, it was just very rewarding. And there's always profit in hard work. So that's what I've been up to.
Cool.
I'm drinking my cherry Soda Stream. Say, I'm coming on. Look at this. Soda Stream, baby.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you got one?
Well, after I saw you drinking your stuff, and I'm doing a low carb keto type diet, and so I thought, I gotta get some flavored water that I can drink and be a little happier with. And
I have one. Make sure it's screwed on well. I've pumped that thing up a couple times and not been screwed on well, and then I have a SodaStream mess.
Yeah, that was my first experience because I didn't know you had to put it up there quite right and lock it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need a Mentos to make an explosion there.
No, not at all.
Life is hard, and it's harder when you're stupid. So
I'll handle that. I'll take that.
I resemble that remark.
Right.
No, Kabuki Kid, not keto. I didn't say keto. No. I said keto. Keto. Maybe I said keto, but I meant keto anyway. Hey, we got all kinds of folks in the house. Hey, Rick's in the house, and Jay Fulcher's in the house, and so's Kabuki Kid. Just fantastic.
With her new logo, which is nice. It's better than just having that K.
Yeah, it's got like an evil eye.
It's not an evil eye. It's like a Japanese eye. Like
Oh, it's like a samurai or a ninja eye, maybe. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Samurai eye. Oof.
Samurai eye Kabuki kick.
Yeah, well, it's always so good to have you guys in the house. So I think, we're going to try to move right along with the show. But before we do today and go into our segment, things that make you go, we just want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Academy Games. And Academy Games, got to see Uwe at the GAMA Trade show too. And he's always off showing off the stuff. He had his Agents of Mayhem, Pride of Babylon displayed there in its 3D brilliance. This game is available now that you can get available. Also, Tutor has been made available. And it's just a fantastic little worker placement game. And like all of Academy games, they've just kind of got that historical feel that you can just dig your teeth into. I really love the way the nobles move up and down the track and how they get to the table and move up. It's a fantastic game that you can try to take a look at. And also, of course, a lot of their evergreen titles with the Birth of America series, 1775 and so forth. Check out academygames.com. So with that, we're going to go on to our next segment, Things That Make You Go, Drop.
Things that make us go, Board game news. Berkey and Badger reflect on the current events that are happening in the board game industry. Some may be good, some may be bad, but they're all things that make us go,
I think I'm getting up to about 120 words a minute.
You just talk that stuff now. I don't even think we type as much as we used to. We just speak it and it comes out on the other end.
Yeah, my problem is I never proof my voice text, and then my auto spell totally screws everything up. It makes me look really as intelligent as I am.
Do you remember when I came over for Gen Con and we were in your car and I was watching you, do these messages where you were driving? You're like, okay, Brian, we're going to be a bit late because we went the wrong way. And I was like, wow, it's Brian from Arcane Wonders. I'll just slip the odd word in while he's talking. And so it was actually dictated. Brian, we're going to be a little cheeseburger late due to the fact that fish are.
Exactly. I'm always hitting that hands-free button. When you're driving, you're not going to check it. So
yeah. So it's rather funny. Well, I find it funny.
That's a great idea. I think I'm going to do that tonight.
Just pick him off.
It'll pick up anybody's voice.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Barry, what things have been making you go,
Well, if you read the notes, I forgot what was going to make me go,
Mine's blank. Mine's a blank notes right there.
Yeah.
I have my notes, but you don't have anything making you go,
No, I to be honest, I haven't really been following what's been going on with the board game world at the moment. There's been a lot going on here. I've been buried in my music and trying to review at the same time. and trying to find other work. So at that point, board games just are there. Apart from
well, you just had news that you were at that festival.
That was I? I didn't know about that.
Yeah, you were just posting all about it. What is?
Yes, that's not really news. That's basically a festival that goes. There's lots of festivals in France. You know what? I'm going to draw it up right now. Someone created a map of all the festivals that are happening in France. If I go to screen share, you can have a look right here. As you can see, this is not all of them. I spoke to a colleague who goes to a lot of festivals, and he said that they're not all on here. And you can see all these different colored dots. The blue ones are events which are coming, and so you can click on it, and it tells you that that's the one local to me, Le Boule de Jeu.
And these are board game centric festivals.
Yeah, these are board game centric festivals. Wow. Some of them are bigger than others. Some of them are just like gaming groups or gaming cafes which hold a special one day. They open the doors and they hire out a hall or whatever, and then they demo games for everyone that comes in. And some of them have publishers come along, like the one that I went to at Epinal, which is down here, which is past, and it's probably been deleted. Down here somewhere. Well, it's down there somewhere in that part of France if you're looking at the YouTube video. If you're not looking at the YouTube video and you're watching the podcast, you need glasses. But yeah, there were publishers there, like Blue Orange Games were there, Asmodee were there. They weren't in force. There was just like a small team that had about 8 tables each, and they were demoing the latest games for the public. And it was a free event, which we all love, free events, and there's a lot of them that happen around France. There's actually 143 recorded here, and they come in all forms. There's one in next weekend, which I'm going to as well, up in Lille, which again is about 2-hour drive for me, but hey ho, it's worth going because there's some publishers there that I know, and there's some people there that I know, and so I'm going to have a good old chat and check out some new games, which I don't get to play here. So
that's a crazy amount of things just in a small area.
Yeah, it is, considering. I mean, what we need a global map of all the events that are going on everywhere. I mean, on this map, they have added on Essen, and they've bled into Belgium. So there's the Brussels festival, and there's a few other little Belgian festivals there. But yeah, it's great. It's a great little map. It tells you when there's like an event happening in a week or two. It tells you when the event's already passed, and it tells you when the events are coming. And then you've got this whole list, and you can click, and there's loads of links to their websites and Facebook sites. It's a really, really practical guide, a map. I think that's
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's interactive. You're able to look and see the name and the dates.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if I scroll down, these they're all in date order, and so you've got all the icons and the logos, and it tells you which zone they're in. So this one's over here is in Paris, where this one's in Montreux. Yeah, and you just click on it, and there you go. It shows you where it is. It gives you the address, gives you the dates that it's running from. This one's in Belgium, from the 7th to the 10th of June.
We should have a database like that, interactive database like that in the States.
Convention as well. So they've been doing it for 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I've seen another one. Someone did do another one on Google Maps, but it wasn't that good. It had all cafes on it, and it had game associations, but this is purely festivals. So Cannes is on here, Paris Ludic is on here, which is the very big event which happens in France. So, but there's lots of little ones as well. As I said, they're little associations which hire out a hall, a town hall, and they get about 50 tables set up, and they demo games and try to get people interested, because on the weekends, a lot of French people don't work, and especially Sundays, it's family time, and family time is after lunch at 2 o'clock. Everybody goes out for a walk in their local village or their local town, And if they see something like that, they just walk in and they have a look around. And there's normally like the large kind of big versions of board games that are out there. So like Dragon River, Jamaica, all kinds of things like that. So yeah, I'm very lucky around here.
I thought the French didn't work during the weekdays.
30 hours. 30 hours.
35 hours maximum.
35 hours max.
Yeah.
It's all about aperitif and ratafia.
Yes, it is.
I enjoyed that, actually. I could kind of I could agree with it.
And if Scott Oldham was here, it would be all about raclette.
Oh, I love raclette. I love that raclette.
Mm.
Yeah, their stuff was amazing. We had such a good time there. Well, one of the things that is making me go, was something recent that came out in the news. ICV2 reported that Cool Mini or Not, which changed their name to CMON, and now they're saying they don't want to be called CMON, they want to be called Come On.
Oh, yeah.
So now you're supposed to say Come On, but it's, the logo is fine. But it's just, what are you supposed to say? Cool Mini or Not? That's what all of us knew this great company by. And then everybody said CMON, but now we're supposed to say Come On. And so that whole thing just, come on.
Come on.
What's that got to do with?
I'm walking.
Yeah, I'm walking here. I'm walking. Get out of the way, Polly. I love Cool Mini or Not. I love Come On. They're a great company. I love what they do. But the whole name thing, it just gives me a little bit of a tilt sometimes. And but the thing in the news that got me a little bit interested was that they have signed an exclusive distribution deal now with Asmodee. And one of the things with Asmodee going on is they primarily distribute through Alliance. And I have many friends in the retailer hobby who are like, they are livid, furious about their production, their orders and so forth with Alliance. They have just nightmares getting what they order, getting the right amount, their customer service. So by limiting distribution with other companies like PSI and companies like, GTS and Southern Hobby and so forth, they're really struggling with this decision of now having the same restrictions that they have with Fantasy Flight type of games, Asmodee games, in the same channel as, with Cool Mini games being in that same channel. So it really made me go, and I'm wondering why they did it. And it just seems to me that they are being set up for acquisition.
Uh-huh. Dun, dun, dun.
I looked at their stock, and it's in Hong Kong dollars.
Yeah, they're only on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange.
Exactly. And it's very, very level, shall we say.
Yeah. Well, last year, their third quarter earnings were not as good as the prior year, but they hadn't experienced the entire year of growth and their year-end sales. So it was a lot of people overreacted that, and it actually devalued the stock for a while. So that's been a little bit of an interesting thing too. But I bet they're, with what they're doing now, I think they're positioning themselves for the next couple big runs. And like a lot of these companies, they are wanting to be Asmodee ready.
Yes. Going back to the name thing, I think they should just call themselves Cool Mini.
Cool Mini.
It works for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. Cool Mini.
Saves fudging around with this Come On and
CMON.
Yeah, CMON.
It's Perry always laughs. So I think it's one of those deals that they wanted to distinguish their board game side of things separate from the miniatures games and the miniature products they had. But I think Cool Mini it sounds great.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris Whitpan's in the house from Game All Night. How you doing, buddy? Love Game All Night. Thank you. If you haven't watched Game All Night, I mean, this is like Conan O'Brien meets somebody very interesting. Chris
in the
went
board
down.
game world.
In the board, yeah, Rodney Smith. I don't know. It's just fantastic. Great show. They just had Mandy Hutchinson's on the show the other night, and I watched a good portion of it. It's just a super fun show. So big kudos to Chris.
Okay. We'll move right on.
All right. So we are also have a sponsor to the show, and that's our good friends at Arcane Wonders. And got to spend some time with Brian Pope, the owner at the GAMA Trade Show, as well as Tony Galati and John Rogers, their operations manager. And I tell you what, they have some exciting stuff coming up. They have a new game, Dice Tower Essential, called Dragon Scales. This is kind of a remake of Dragon Rampage by Richard Launius. Some crazy, awesome, cooperative. The look of this game is spectacular. You're going to be seeing a lot of pictures coming up on this. They've also got a fun little tactical card game called Land, Air, and Sea. That's a really cute looking game too that just gives a little different flair than I've actually seen from Arcane Wonders. And they also have Volcano Island that's coming out. And Volcano Island, the production value of that game, I didn't get a chance to really look at the gameplay or anything. I was busy in the booth, but I'm going to be, this was first revealed there, so we just didn't have time to really go through what it's all about. So that one was kind of a secret first launch at GAMA, but a lot more is going to be coming out to that. And of course, they have the great Dice Tower Essential games. Good Critters is selling like crazy. They're super happy with how well received that game is, and I love that game. So if you're looking for a family party style type of game, Good Critters is fantastic. So check out arcanewonders.com.
Welcome everybody to What Game is Behind the Door. In this segment, will we put in our special guest to the test by asking them 3 questions. Questions like, what was the last game that they purchased? What is the game they're most excited about getting? And what is their favorite game right now? Berkey and Badger will have to figure out what these answers are by asking questions in particular styles. Let's find out if Berkey and Badger can get 3 out of 3 or fall flat on the floor like a floundering thingy.
Well, this gives us the opportunity. We go into our segment, What Game is Behind the Door? We get to talk with our special guest who's been waiting very patiently for us to get through all of our nonsense. And my good friend, Rob McBride, we want to just spend a few minutes talking about who Rob is and what he's doing in the industry, and then we'll move right into the game show. But Rob and I met last year at the Origins Game Fair. And we had a Game Topper display. We were partnering with Mayday Games at Origins. And Rob introduced himself to me, and he took a liking to the Game Toppers. But one of the purposes he had was displaying this new game idea that he had. And the more he talked about it, I went, oh my goodness, this is right in my wheelhouse. He described it to me as, if I remember correctly, Axis and Allies meets Twilight Imperium, but better. And I went, man, I cut my teeth on Axis and Allies. I love that. And but it's too long. And I loved Twilight Imperium, but it's too long. And he's saying, hey, we've streamlined this thing. You can play this game in a much less time, and started telling me about it. And from that point on, we began developing a relationship, seeing each other at the different cons and all that kind of stuff. So tell us a little bit, Rob, about your company, Scyther Gaming. I was thinking about that actually earlier. How did you actually come up with the name Scyther Gaming?
That's a good question. My back in the old days when we did online gaming and we'd get together in BattleNet and you'd take your laptops and plug them together at everyone's kitchen and stuff like that. That moniker that I would log in with was Shadow Scyther. And I was always Shadow Scyther. My buddy was Banyan Dell. My other buddy was Captain Chaos. And when we formed the game, they're my developing team too. So when we formed the game, we're thinking about a name, and one of them suggests, hey, why don't you go with Shadow Scyther? And I'm like, well, Shadow Scyther is a little dark. I liked Scyther, and so Scyther Gaming. That's the genesis of that. So that's a good question.
Yeah, that's great. That kind of
Goes
gives you a
back
little of your
20
history.
years, 20 years, yeah.
Wow. Well, tell us a little bit about your game Over Battle of the All War and what you're doing with that.
Over Battle is I hope it to be an epic. I think people will find that it truly is an experience. It is at its core a war game. However, really it's some drafting and some engine building and some worker placement and some co-op and some semi-co-op and some politician stuff going on. And you squeeze all that together in a war game wrapper, that's Over Battle. And so when folks sit down with an open mind, they come away with a whole new experience. Wargamers love it because it's a war game. However, people that have never war gamed will get in and experience something. And then when they go play another war game, they're broken because they're like, well, this isn't like what Over Battle was. This is long and arduous. We're everything but. I think it's the quickest 3 hours you'll ever play.
Yeah, when I've seen this, the table presence of this game is like, it's like fantastic. I mean, look at all the bits. Talk a little bit about what you've done with the actual production of this.
Okay, so it was important for me to come out and show from a concept perspective exactly where we're at. If I want to create an immersive experience, it has to be good. And so it does look good. Don't let the candy colors and the tabletop presence fool you. It's a great game, but it's beautiful to look at. People come by at the booths, it's been at all these conventions, and it's breathtaking. They stop, they look at it, and they're like, whoa, wow. And so I'm very proud of that. Thank you for noticing. Very proud. We worked really hard to get our models just right, to get our color selection just right, to make sure that things fit on the board just right. And then I put it on a game topper and it's just right. So I have 3 game toppers, as you know. I travel the country dragging my game toppers in a trailer. I don't like to show it without the game toppers, but it's a beautiful game. And
Barry's showing some of your bits right now. And
oh, nice.
I mean, they're just fantastic. And
thank you.
When I remember seeing it the first time at Gen Con, and you had the custom mat we helped you get for your mat, and just the 3D nature, of all, you have the bigger mechs there just for fun, but you had these large standees there that really drew attention to the characters, life-size characters. Yeah. And it showed off that artwork that just, to me, is real evocative. I like the look of it. And
thank you.
And, art is such a subjective thing, but when you see this on the table, it's just like, ooh, what is this?
Right. It's a huge attraction, and it grabs you and it pulls you in. The game does the same thing, but if I can get you to sit down, and part of that was just looking the part, looking beautiful. And so from a prototype perspective, I don't think you're going to find anything better. It looks like you came in and Hasbro or Mattel knocked it off, and it came right off the shelf.
Yeah, Kabuki Kid says, oh, wow, you guys are going to make me spend some more money today.
Nice. Thank you, Kabuki Kid. I'm on Kickstarter right now.
Yeah, that I just posted the link in the chat for those of you that are looking, and we'll put that in the show notes. But the Kickstarter is just launched, and this particular game is, I think, fits a need that people that want that epic experience, but they just have such a hard time getting a game group together that you can get 4 or 6 people together and then actually sit down for more than 3 hours. That's really hard.
We played with the Dukes of Dice in Albuquerque, New Mexico, at the Board Game Empire Cafe.
At Rory's.
Rory. Yeah, Rory's.
Yep.
And he said hi, by the way. We played there with the Dukes of Dice from the Dice Tower Network, and they finished in 2 hours and 45 minutes. And so they are seasoned gamers, so they took to the mechanics real quickly, and they saw all of the genres that we put together and made this cohesive unit. And so I like to say it's an hour a player. 2 players, 2 hours, 4 players, 4 hours. but it can be done a little quicker. First time through any game may take a little longer, you know, that first time. However, you're going to come away and you're going to say, I can't believe 3 hours have gone by so fast. And so because it's that immersive experience, it takes you in a different place.
I saw you at so many of the conventions, because I hit 10 conventions last year, and almost all of them that I was at, you were at.
Yeah.
And you just had crowds of people around the table, and the feedback that I'm hearing from you is it was just stellar. Everybody that played it pretty much just went, wow, this is way better than I thought, or I didn't think I could play a war game, and all of a sudden this was really cool.
Right. Thank you. I know the game is A+, and I'm not a marketing guy, so I'm a gamer, right? I'm a game guy. And so I built a game exactly as I think a gamer would want a game. And it looks that way, it plays that way, it's attracting like that. My downside is I'm not a marketer. So I'm not out there. I'm out there showing the game firsthand. Touch it, feel it, smell it, taste it. I guess you could put that in your mouth. That's why I have a 14 and over sticker on there. So it says, you know, don't put these in your mouth for the 3-year-old.
Right.
I'm not a marketer, but I am a gamer, and sort of brought that to the table. No pun intended.
Yeah, that's right. Well, congratulations, because I've seen a lot of Kickstarter creators that don't put the amount of time and effort that you have. I mean, the amount of money you've spent going to conventions, I know what that costs. And it's a significant commitment financially. It's a significant commitment to your time and energy. And you're doing that really well, because people have been able to see how great this product actually looks.
Thank you. Thank you. We did 40,000 miles, and I flew around the world 1.5 times. So
wow. Yeah, it's nuts.
Drive miles.
Did time go backwards?
Yeah, time did not go backwards.
Did you save Lois Lane?
It wasn't contiguous, but it struck open my Superman shirt, saved Lois Lane. No, I did put on a lot of miles on the new car, though.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, I think it's probably time for us to get right into our game show with our guest, Rob McBride from Scyther Gaming. And we're going to start out with that first question there, Barry. Do you want to go and give us the rules rundown?
No problems. I just remembered what we put Rob in prison for.
Oh, I was going to ask.
Yeah, he's in prison. He's in the dungeon due to the fact that he told us that the world was round. It's not round. It's flat.
It's flat.
Oh my God.
I've had it. I'm sick of this ignorance.
Yes.
I'm just sick of it.
The King Berkey has spoken. It's flat. Now you've got to convince us that it's round by beating us with these 3 questions. And
okay, I'll do my best.
The first question is, what was the last game that Rob has purchased? And we're going to be doing this in a kind of 20 questions style, but we're only going to ask 5 questions each. Yep. And in between each question, there will be 5 clues given to us by Rob, which we'll describe. He'll be showing up 5 of the components from the game, and we'll give you a little description. And these are just to save us asking 20 questions, basically. Okay, so question number 1.
Well, my standard question, of course, is does it fit in a Ticket to Ride box? I mean, is this a Ticket to Ride size box game? Yeah. Standard 12 by 12. Okay.
Yeah, it may be 14 by 14, but yes, it's very
okay. Good. Okay, very good.
And my question is this game mainly Euro mechanics?
No.
No. It's an American.
No.
Okay.
Euro.
So the first component then, please, Rob, if you could be so kind to hold it up to your wonderful camera.
Oh, my goodness. What the heck is that? It's some kind of card tray, or?
Yeah.
Proper orientation. It's like
for your audio listeners, this is like a flat little piece of plastic about 6 inches by 4 inches. It appears to have 2 slots. It's slightly angled on both sides. So like
it's a
little, little tiles or something fit in it. It looks like.
Or it's a roof for a miniature house where he plays miniature wargaming.
Nice, nice. It's on the inside of the kingdom.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that before.
No, and I should be hiding the chat because I think Kabuki wrote something.
I need to do that too here. I wasn't looking, but okay.
I'm going to pass.
I'll pass. So then
Okay.
let's ask another question. That is, was this produced in 2017, 2018?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a newer game.
Okay.
Checking the trademark now. Yes, 2018.
2018. Okay.
Screwed up my question. I thought it was going to be something like Memoir 44. You know, you got your cards. And I'm sure when I played it, we had a card holder of some sort. But okay.
Trying to think of what tiles would sit at their angle, but it looks like they're on both sides of it.
Okay. Does this? You said tiles. I'll ask that. Does that component hold tiles?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So it does have tiles.
Indirectly.
Indirectly. Wow. Well,
Okay.
I know it's on component number 2. Yeah.
You know it's component number 2.
Shall I?
Yes.
You shall. Okay. A plus 50 marker. Oh, thanks a lot.
He's determined to get out of the dungeons.
Yeah, thanks a lot for we're gonna let him rot in the dungeon. That's what we're gonna do. Plus 50 markers, so scoring can go above plus 50. Woohoo! Wee!
Those were the hard ones. It gets really easy in just a moment.
Okay. We'll see. Wow. Gosh.
You got a question then?
Well, I'm trying. We can still guess here on question number 2. Okay, I'll pass. I'll pass. Okay, question number 3. Is this game from a North American company?
No.
No. So this is a Euro company.
Who makes
it's not a Euro game, but it's not made in North America.
Okay. Does this game have a dexterity element?
Indirectly.
That's a good question.
Indirectly.
Yes, absolutely, but indirectly.
Okay, we know
I can't see the chat, so I wonder if anybody. I'm not even looking at the chat, so I don't know if anybody's guessed already or not. But
no, we'll find out soon.
Well, Rob, we know Rob likes war games, so I mean that's part of something we know about him, I guess. But I doubt he just plays all war games.
But the thing is, indirectly, is it like you play it dexterity? You know, like people with Ticket to Ride, they take their trains and they dexterously stack them up. It's not part of the game, but they can do it.
No.
Do things get stacked up? Is that a question 2B?
Ooh, no.
You want an answer to that?
No, we just want the third component, please.
Okay, third component. Okay, now it gets easier.
Okay, it's a cardboard strip, which is about the same size as the
about 6 inches. It has an A on the left and a B on the right, and it's red, blue, green, and yellow tiles with X's in the middle. Good grief. I don't know what this is.
No.
Well, he got it overseas somewhere. So how are we supposed to know?
Yeah, on the other side of the world.
There's like 2 billion games that came out of there last year.
200 a month.
Yeah.
It's not ringing any bells for me, so...
Okay, well, number 4, is this a party game?
No. I would say it's not a party game.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's an indirect dexterity game. Okay.
Kind of, he said.
And there's a point marker. I mean, dexterity games, you don't really get point markers.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No pun intended.
Well, maybe maybe it's not. There's a new game that's not like Flick 'em Up, but it's something like that I just heard about.
Okay.
I'll have to pass.
Is there another component? Is there another person we can interrogate in this dungeon?
Make him speak. Make him speak. Pull off his toenails.
And this is actually the last game I purchased too in 2018, so it's not like I drug something out of the archives.
Does this game play more than 5 players?
No.
Oh, good question.
No, so it's 4 or less.
Oh.
Okay.
Is that 2 questions?
I hope so.
Is it
5 or less.
okay? Wow. So component number is this number
4.
4?
This is 1, 2, 3. This is 4.
Crap.
This is bad as someone holding up a red cube as component number 1.
Yeah, now we've got this
cube
long triangle. It looks like one of those snappers on the top of when you say cut action.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Go.
And it has red, blue, yellow, long green, red, blue. It's got little numbers on the top, and oh my goodness.
You know what? I don't think we're going to get this.
I don't think we're going to get it either, but I'm going to say I can't remember what it looks like, but it's starting to feel like maybe a racing game or something. So I'm going to say, could I say like Flamme Rouge or something?
No.
Flamme Rouge.
Okay. All right. So question number 5, last question, is this a 2-player game?
Yes.
Now we're on to something. I don't ever play 2-player games.
So maybe I should ask, can this game be played solo?
Is that your question?
Yeah, because
yes,
I haven't got a clue.
it can. You can. You can. Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
So it's a
2-player
game. 2-player game, but you can play it solo. So 2 players.
Okay, component number 5, please, Rob.
Component number 5.
Ooh.
Okay, this looks like one of those Pinklo, where the ball rolls down and what do you call it? Pinko or whatever it is.
I don't know, but yeah, it looks like you slot something in and it rolls down a ramp and then falls onto the next ramp, which slows down to the next ramp, and then
it's plastic. Okay, so and the little dial is probably going to go down the little plastic
Tetris.
tray.
It's not Tetris.
No. Oh, and that you were showing us the base of this plastic holder for the first component. Now he's got little inserts that go into it for the scoring.
Yeah, now he's putting the components together. I can see the game. It's a game where you put tiles in and you've got to I've seen this game, but I do not know what it is called. You have stumped us, Rob.
You have stumped us. It's like Connect 4 or something, but drop it.
That's it.
Okay, well, I think he needs to endure a little bit more torture.
It's a great game, by the way. If you haven't played it, pick it up. Let's see. It's a European Thames and Cosmos out of UK. Great folks. And let's see, Cosmos Games. And it's fantastic. It's fun. Misty loves it because she can beat me at it routinely, actually. And you can practice dropping that stuff in and making sure that you can get them. You can't touch 2 colors together, and they can't touch the sides, which what those sides markers were.
Oh,
fabulous game. Good game. Pick it up.
So did anybody in the chat get it?
No. I don't know. I can't see. Anybody? No.
Just checking.
Kabuki
Kid said she loves Drop It.
Oh yeah, and she did get it. She did get it.
And then she said what I was thinking of was Pachinko. Yeah. Al Pachinko.
Right. Plinko.
Yeah, Al Pachinko.
So there you go. Question number 1 is now question number 2.
Okay.
What
Go ahead.
game? Sorry, the weird computer is just making weird noises in my ears. So, question number 2 is, what game is Rob most excited about getting? Maybe it's a Kickstarter, maybe it's a game which he's heard about, or maybe it's a game that he has had trouble getting hold of. Maybe a copy of Hero Quest that he maybe wants. But in this round, he's going to be drawing an image, or he's either prepared an image beforehand, and we'll describe it to you and try and guess together what it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
are you ready?
We are.
We are ready.
I cheated. I didn't draw it, but I did print it. I physically printed it.
Oh, wow. So he printed a black on white image of a skull and crossbones. Or a skull and Jolly Roger with the swords crossed under the skull.
Okay.
All right.
This
This is what he's excited about getting. You know why pirate jokes are funny, don't you?
No, I knew this was coming.
Because they just are.
What's the favorite letter of the pirate?
R.
No, it's the C.
It's the C. Ah, now we're kindred spirits now. Boo.
Okay.
Jay says boo. All right.
Okay, can I ask though, because that's a very kind of open-ended clue there.
It is very much.
Is it?
He's broken the rules.
Yeah.
He has not drawn it. We specifically said he had to draw it. And so he just prints some vague thing off and thinks, I'm going to win this thing, get out of this dungeon.
It could be anything.
Bull roar. He's not getting out of this dungeon with that kind of crap.
It could be an old game. It could be a new game. I can't tell. It's like, could it be Jamaica, or could it be Cutthroat Caverns, or could it be?
Well, he's excited about getting it. You know, what's the Matago game? I mean,
the one you didn't like.
No, I didn't get it. I tried to get it at Essen, but they didn't have it in English. Long John Silver's this the
Treasure Island.
Yeah, Treasure Island.
This game is it is not new, but it has been on BGG for a decade.
Okay, then
been available, but it's not been available.
It's not Merchants and Marauders.
It is not.
With
Jamaica.
It is not.
It's not. But you're excited about getting it. So
yes.
So did you buy it from somebody aftermarket, or
it is on Kickstarter currently?
Ugh. Wow.
Okay, yeah, we're dead there.
Yeah.
Looking for a Kickstarter game right now. You might as well just like flick through Board Game Geek. So many games on Kickstarter.
Right. It is Sea Rogers, and it is a game based on pirates of the sea, and it has historical accuracy, as well as has been around in iterations for a decade, and he's just now, through distribution issues that happened and then failed, and different versions that happened and then failed, is just now gotten to what is version 4.0. So check it out. Check it out.
Okay.
So this is Sea Rogers. So your joke was actually a clue.
Yes. Yes.
Ah.
It is.
He's stumping us, but this one has an asterisk by it.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. Because I mean, a decade ago, it could have been Jamaica, because that was 10 years ago, and again, that's been published by someone else again recently. I think I mentioned it on one of our Things That Make Us Go recently. So
yeah, that's right. Okay, part number 3.
Part number 3 is, what is the current favorite game of Rob? The one that he is dreaming about the most, the one that he's thinking about while he's playing his prototypes and demoing and wishing that he was playing and wish he designed maybe.
No, we're gonna. I already told him. I said, you can't pick over Battle. We know that's the one you eat, sleep, and drink about. So
Right.
that's a given. But
Right.
this is his favorite current game.
It's other than Over Battle.
Yeah.
Other than Over Battle.
Because I do eat, sleep, drink, and breathe Over Battle for sure. There's no question about that. It is my all-time favorite game. Yes.
Okay.
Do you need any other clues?
No, you just need to give us one by one a one-worded clue, and then we will guess, and then you will give us a second one-worded clue, and we will.
Tell me when you're ready.
Weddy. Weddy.
We're weddy.
That's cool.
Greatest.
We are the greatest. I can spell that word.
Greatest. So this isn't a boxing game like Muhammad Ali. Do you believe it? The great, the one, the only Muhammad Ali.
Nice, Cosell. Nice, Cosell.
Okay, it dates us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does. Who? Howard who?
Do you believe in the power?
So, I fly
Nothing
like a butterfly and I sting like a bee.
Nothing to do with cheese, no? Because it's the
There
greatest.
isn't any, the greatest. Maybe he just means the greatest game of all time. And, being he's got this Axis and Allies and TI4, I'm going to say TI3, TI4.
No.
No. Oh, no.
I'm gonna pass for now.
Oh, no. Maybe it was the greatest generation.
Or maybe it's the greatest edition.
He's the best around.
Okay, word number 2.
Number 2.
Dive.
Greatest dive.
Dive.
Okay.
Dive as in swimming.
Yeah.
I didn't say swimming.
He didn't say swimming. I like how we're kind of goading him to extra clues.
You are. You have a way of
trying
doing
to get
that.
out of this dungeon. I'm telling you, getting a little dank down here.
So it could be a location, which is a dive.
Well, greatest dive. He could be thinking, games like Descent, maybe,
Or baseball highlights. I'm going to go with that.
No.
Oh.
That's my favorite 2-player game.
Oh, you don't dive in that, do you?
I'll say Descent.
No.
No.
Okay.
Word number 3.
2.
2?
Oh, no, that's word number 3.
Word number 3
is 2.
Is 2? As in duo?
2.
As in day?
As
As in
twit-twoo.
Trois.
did.
Trois.
Trois.
Trois is 3.
Yeah. Two. I don't
No,
know.
no.
Dua. Yeah, trois is 3.
Trois.
He's just telling us what the game is. It's trois.
So his clue is that this is a 2-player game, and it's a dive, and it's
It's the greatest.
it's the greatest dive 2-player dive ever. Good grief!
Yeah.
We're gonna let him rot forever.
Maybe it's soccer game or a football game.
Oh, I love football.
Because you dive in there,
No.
and there's some of the greatest stars.
Yeah, I mean it's a good clue because I was starting to think maybe he's talking about Clank or Thunderstone Quest or something, but
I'm gonna say Subutio,
No.
if anyone remembers that.
Gosh, I don't know.
Can you call Subutio a board game?
I'm gonna pass. Number 4.
Number 4. Arizona.
Arizona. Now, Rob is from Arizona. He's got a place in Indianapolis, but he lives in Arizona, right?
Yep. I'm here now, Scottsdale.
You're in Scottsdale. Okay. Yep. So Arizona, Phoenix, Scottsdale, Desert, Sedona. Arizona.
Maybe Arizona's a dive, and that's why he's got 2 places that he can live in.
Scottsdale's anything but a dive.
There's 2. There's 2. One's a dive, and one's the greatest.
The greatest. We're not in the south side of Phoenix. You know what I mean? Oh, good grief. Arizona dive. Is there a skydiving game or something like that? 2-player. Gosh, I'm going to pass on number 4.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on number 4.
Nice. 1 to go.
Yeah.
Ready? Hawaii.
Hawaii. Hawaii. Okay, so could this be? See, I'm getting a little thrown with Arizona, but could it? You know, we've got that whole Cosmos series of 2-player games, and there's the one game called I have it, but it's downstairs. Oh, I know what this is. Kawani? No. You know what they are, Barry. Come on, you can win it for us.
What? Uno.
No. Come on. No. This is not that old of a game. I know what it is.
Pass the pig.
If I could go downstairs, I could tell you exactly what it is.
Is that a question?
No. Kalui. No. Yeah.
Karuba?
I'll let you off the hook.
Karuba?
No,
not Karuba. It's the 2-player Cosmos game. Am I right about that?
No, it is not a 2-player game.
Okay, crap. Oh, it's not a 2-player game.
No, I give you an extra. No, it is not.
Okay, so honorable mention question: throwing yourself on the mercy of the torturers.
Okay.
So give us one more.
Give you one more.
We've never done this before. Okay, we've never extended this kind of mercy.
All right. We've never done this miserably before.
This one, let's see. This one will give it away. Infamy.
Infamy? Is it the game Infamy?
It is not the game Infamy.
Do you have a clue? I don't have a clue on that. Infamy. 2-player. It's not 2-player. That threw me. 2 Arizona, Hawaii. Oh, Pearl Harbor. So Axis and Allies Pacific.
Axis and Allies. That is correct.
Why didn't I just say Axis and Allies?
The Greatest Generation. You were right there.
Okay, so I was on it, and then I got woo.
Arizona. The Arizona is. We have a memorial there. Dive bomber.
Yeah.
Hawaii and World War II.
Yeah, and the Arizona. Yeah. Good grief, that was great. Great clues.
We just went through every single board game in existence, and she didn't get it right.
I'm going on to that. Okay. No, it didn't look like anybody got it here.
No one really.
Kabuki Kid said that was tricky. Yeah, that 2 just totally took us in another direction.
Yeah.
Well done, Axis and Allies. So now we see your love for that type of game and how that love is transferred into Over Battle, into this big epic space type of game that has probably incorporated some of those enjoyment features that you had in Axis and Allies, I suppose.
That's correct.
All right, well, we're going to move right on to the Babble topic.
Babble, 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 Berkey Badger's board game babble.
Babble. All right, we're going to babble about some awesome stuff. This is one of my favorite topics. I'm surprised Barry even brought it up when he had the idea for our script for this show, because he called it Pieces and Bits. Bits and Pieces. Now you see the graphic.
Bits and pieces. Yes. Okay.
So we're gonna talk about components and games and different pieces, different bits. Take us away there, Barry.
I will do. As the honorably member of the South Side of Babblot, I am here to enforce and announce to the king some of the questions and quibbles that the people have been having. And they've been asking, are publishers doing enough to make their games look great on the table? Or do we have to do it ourselves? Is it something that everyone in Babylon, this is some of it, I can't read my own writing. This is something that everyone in Babylon keeps asking a lot. Are game manufacturers actually producing a good game, not just in the mechanics and in the explanation of the rules, but are they producing the components which make it a memorable experience? Or do we have to upgrade them ourselves? So we're going to start babbling about things that are inside the box, like, are wooden cubes still acceptable today?
Rob, feel free to join in on this, because I actually think this is really apropos that we're talking with you.
Thank you.
About this topic, because you know your game is really tricked out the way you're presenting it. You know, you've really went over the top with these kind of things. So go ahead and feel free to chime in on your feelings about these things. But what do you think about wooden blocks?
I think they're not good enough. I think when we sit down to play a game, sometimes it's for those moments to escape life, to get away from the traffic, get away from work, get into the friendship and the camaraderie. And I think the pieces can take you to another place. And just a block of wood, or even a maple shape, I think we are doing a disservice personally when we just take the easy road there. And representative isn't good enough. Immersive is where we can get to another place. I work real hard at making my game immersive, my little game, my big games immersive. And I just don't think that the little blocks that everyone has is the same. Is this little red block this game, or is it in this game, or is it in that game? So,
you know, when we talk about the renaissance of gaming, and we talk about, you know, the Euro explosion and all of this kind of stuff, you know, there was a time that if you got a game like Catan that had little wooden blocks for the roads, and you had wooden blocks for, you know, the sheep and all this stuff. I mean, you had all of these different wooden components. Everyone went nuts because it wasn't cardboard.
Yeah.
But that's vastly changed in the last, what, 5 to 8 years?
Vastly.
Production costs are there. I understand the reason behind it as a designer. I understand the reason, but it is a shortcut. It is a shortcut, and it's an economic decision. And so I would send out the vibe that, hey, spend up a little bit and have a tremendous better experience. And that goes back to the buyers, because developers are only going to develop what they think they can sell. I developed a game that I don't know I can sell. I know it's a fantastic game, but I don't know that I can sell it. And that's generally not the way business goes about things. They are going to find that lowest common denominator. And as buyers, we hold the key to making sure that our game components get better. Support the games with the best components, and we will get better components. And the better components get, the lower the price point becomes, because that becomes the standard, and anything in volume comes down in price. And so we can support the proper games that have done it right, that will over time drive down our game cost, improve our game experience. How is that not a win-win-win for everybody?
Very true.
Yeah, you know, that was really my whole concept with Game Toppers, and that's our tag phrase, is upgrading your gaming experience, because I really do believe it's all about experiences. We are looking for these opportunities and to get together and just have this wonderful time. Now, doesn't mean that we can't play a game like Castles of Burgundy that has just plain old ugly things, you know, from the old version. But it's a fantastic game, right? We had wonderful experiences, but then you take that game and you have a nice custom insert for it. And you take that game and you've got a little custom dice tower or something like that, that just adds that little bit extra to the experience. And then You know, you put on some theme music, you have a thematic game mat, you know, whatever it might be. And all of a sudden it takes it to a whole nother level. Well,
Yeah. Go on.
We spend money for those. We spend money for all of those upgrades. And so if you have a game that I have to go out and buy a mat, that I have to go out and buy a dice tower, that I have to go out and buy third-party organizer, I have to go out and buy third-party replacement coins for the cardboard nothing that it came with.
Yep.
Is that the right game? We got to spend $200 to make our $69 game better. Maybe we should have bought a $179 game in the first place, been dollars ahead, been experience ahead, been time ahead, and just dive in and do what we're there to do. Get away, experience something that takes us in a different place, the right time, the first time.
Yeah, and it does come down to economics a little bit, and it comes down from a publisher going, can I sell it, like you suggested, to the everybody's at a different place in life, whether, this acquisition disorder that we have in this hobby, we want all these different games. And, as the price points have been going up and up and up with these games, people's discretionary income hasn't really gone up with the amount of desire they have and the increasing cost. And so now they have to be more selective. I'm always of the mindset, if I'm backing a Kickstarter, if they have a bunch of add-ons that make the game better, I'm generally buying those add-ons. And I have found that in our own Kickstarter campaign and a lot of them that I follow and back, that's been an incredible successful formula for those, to get a game that's at a price where people are comfortable, but then those that want that upgrade, they just go for it. And I think that's where companies like Stonemaier Games, before I go on to this point, I want to make this point about Stonemaier, but Kaguki Kid said something really cool here. She said, I'm fine with cubes, like in the Academy Games line, and then she's fine with cubes that are actually for like trackers, to track your health and things of that nature. And I kind of agree with that. Terraforming Mars, they've got, if you want to call them deluxified cubes, I don't know if I really like the quality of those cubes that much, but they're a functional part rather than needing something more there. Yeah. But I'd like a little space rover or something else, for something else we're doing, so I love to trick out the game. But games like 1775, for instance, and you're pulling into a bag, they have to be unique or they have to be alike. I mean, to pull out those, to get the color, or games like Shogun or Immortals from Queen Games that have the cube tower. So there's actually a mechanic that's revolved around those cubes. On the other hand, you have companies like Cool Mini or Not on Blood Rage that had the tricked out little markers that moved up the scoring for your rage and all of that. And of course, I want that.
Yeah. For me, it's like what Chris is saying. Chris would rather buy a cheaper game than a more expensive game with better bits. And I'm kind of the same. I did the same with Agricola. I bought the game at its base with all the cubes and all the discs. And because I like the game, I decided I would treat the game to an upgrade and bought all the components so they look like what they are. This is a bonus about having upgraded components to cubes, because cubes represent something. You got to look at the white cube and go, that's a sheep. Yeah.
That's a cleric.
Yeah, like in what was it, Lords of Waterdeep? It was the first original. It was cubes. That's the cleric. Was that a mage? It doesn't matter. It's you just need 5 purple cubes and 2 blue cubes. Whereas when you upgrade those components and you have these, they look like sheep and they look like cows, and you know what they are. You don't have to think about it. You just look at it and you go, right, yeah, I've got 3 cows. I can make this much food and my family won't starve. So that's the benefit of it. But also, as Chris is saying, you really want a game at a good price point, which a lot of people are going to buy it, and then maybe have this little thing on the side where, as you said, that they can upgrade it so that you have a slightly deluxified version. But then where do you put all the pieces? Because like with Agricola, I've now got a bag of discs and cubes which won't fit in the box.
Well, the chat is really jumping in on this because Kabuki Kid is, saying, hey, I'll always buy the deluxeified version. Tasty Minstrel kind of trademarked that deluxeified concept. Chris from Game All Night, he's saying, if he likes the game, he'll bling it. And so there's kind of this, hey, if I really like the game, then I'm going to go all in. And I have a little bit of that. There are times, if I've bought a game that I don't really know, I'm just wanting to try it. My game buying is pretty discerning now because I have more than I can play. So I don't buy very many. So if I do buy a game, it's one that I'm probably going to like. So I'm not that hesitant to spend more.
And one of the good things is that Jamie Stegmeyer bring out the treasure chest packs.
Yeah, like I have a bunch of these. It's kind of funny. Jamie was just on the chat the other day on a live Facebook post, and we got in there and we started talking recipes, and everybody was at, and I said, I've got some of my Burke's Happy Mouse signature spice I'll send you. And he goes, yeah, I'd like to try that rub. And then he sent me his address. He says, I said, by the way, I love your tokens. I buy all these tokens. And he goes, well, I'll send you some other tokens if you want. I've got some laying around here. And I'm like, brother, I've got all the tokens I can handle. I just got a whole bunch of tokens from Top Shelf Gamer, the little wheat tokens and the little potion tokens that I like to use for wine in Concordia. But look at this. I don't know if you can see these okay.
Yeah,
this here's the little barrel. I mean, look at the silk here.
And see, that's a good benefit. You can buy a box with all those components in, and then you can use them for any game that you want, which uses those components. You might be playing Jamaica, and so you need barrels of rum. So there you go. That's sweet. You just put real barrels of rum instead of, cardboard tokens. And then you play another game and you use those components. I should jump on board and grab some of those treasure chests from Jamie because
I have like 9 of them here. I just got the sheep. I mean, here's a whole bunch of them from their tomb. You can see some of the different things there for health points and a wrench and all that. Here,
yeah.
This one here is kind of cool. It's got the brain and the hatchet and the skulls. I'll use those skulls sometimes for curses. Like in the Gray Fox game, Champions of Midgard. But there's all kinds of these things. I mean, here you've got the potions that you can see, and then there's a chest. I mean, it's just the shield for health points. And I mean, I've got tons of brick and gold and iron ore. And I mean, for me, that's all about experience. So my whole family, I mean, it doesn't matter. We love to bring out and trick out every game.
As a war gamer, often you have hundreds of pieces. Over Battle has 1,000 pieces. We talked about reusability. I agree 100%. Our boxes come with these. You can't, that is in the box. So is that reusable? If you hate the game, is that component reusable? Of course it is. The dice trays, collapsible dice trays, and stackable dice in little trays that come apart. Is that reusable? Absolutely it is. And so sometimes you can find a game, Over Battle, other games that have components that you could use in other areas. A D12 dice is a D12 dice. I have 40 D12 dice in the box, and they're all different colors, 4 different colors. Does someone just have 40 D12 dice laying around? So when you buy the proper games, some games, you can look at it a little differently. I'm adding to my inventory. Not only did I get a great game that has all this stuff, but now I have an additional inventory of other things I could use some of this stuff for. And so is that enhancing your gaming experience even at a bigger level? Maybe.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I wonder how many people actually take components from one game and use them in another game.
Yeah. If you hate a game, I guess you could strip down something. As a designer, I have numerous half boxes that I've taken little pieces of this and that and that and this just to work through conceptually how I'm going to make something prior to investing time in actually developing the piece that goes into the game.
Mhm.
I'll strip something out of another. For me, it's common, but others, we all have games that we never play again. And if you're going to salvage something, you strip stuff out of them. So I think it's probably more common when we stop to think about it than we might admit.
Yeah. Well, I know what I love Francis Drake, one of my favorite games. And I took an old Risk game that actually had the cannons in it. And I put that in the Francis Drake.
Sure.
In fact,
exactly.
I bought a couple of them at rummage sales, so I had enough of them.
Yep.
And it was a perfect component for that game.
Yeah. And publishers nowadays are stepping up their game a lot, I feel. Just talking, I was starting a review for Jurassic Snacks, which is a Bruno Catala 2-player abstract game. It comes with biggish plastic dinosaurs. And again, this could have been tokens or it could have been a wooden meeple. But no, they're big, cartoony, kind of toys that a kid would play with. And it's in a 2-player abstract game. Excellent.
Mm-hmm. But it wasn't $10 either. It wasn't $12. You pay for that experience.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And, you don't mind paying €25 for a box and a game like that with components like that.
Mm-hmm.
It adds up.
It's definitely the trend. And in my opinion, that's the way to go, but I know a lot of people don't feel that way. So there's varying perspectives. Some people, they're just I just care about the mechanics. That's all I care about, Other folks, I'm all about the experience. So tricking it out just adds that ambiance that I love about gaming that just makes it that much better. And the chat right now they're talking a lot about different things that they like, but one of the things that they start talking about is neoprene mats, because you're starting to see a huge insurgence of companies making custom mats for the game. The conversation has gone a little bit that, we like mats, but storing mats is a problem. They don't fit in the box, blah, blah, blah. Arcane Wonders has made a fantastic, Dice Tower Essential game, Omitama, that has just gone brilliantly. But the way they designed that box, that little neoprene mat rolls up perfect, and it fits in this little spot and is the substitute for the game board.
Yeah,
I love that.
I do as well. It's just the mats are wonderful. They're just so much easier to pick cards up off of.
Right.
Or tokens or chips or whatever.
We took our 6-foot mat and we quartered it, so it does fit in the box. So
tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I took a 6-foot board and I cut it into three cuts creates 4 pieces. And so now I've got a piece of a board that fits inside that box perfectly. And you have 6 feet, but it does fit in the box. It's not something that you have to add a second shipping cost, have a separate shipping tube. If you want a 1-piece, we sell 1-pieces, you sell 1-pieces. Heck, my 1-piece comes from you. So it's the 1-piece. That's exceptionally quality. But I use game mats. Everything's mat. Even our play pieces are mats. So there is no cardboard in my game. Everything's mat. But by having that mat split into quarters, it fits in the box and it provides modularity of gameplay. So developers can start to look at, if I have to take that mat and split it up, can I make that part of my 2-player experience? I would tell you yes, because that's what I did. I have 2 pieces of our mat is used for the 2-player game. 3 pieces of our mat is used for the 3-player game. And the full 6 feet in 4 pieces of the mat is used for the full experience. It doesn't change the game. It just changes the size of the game. And so you can quarter these. I could quarter yours. Mine comes in mats and quartered. It's thinking outside the box, no pun intended.
Yeah.
It's thinking inside the box too. It's, can that fit inside the box by thinking outside of the box? And so I would challenge other designers to say, it can be done. We can provide an exceptional experience on mat material and everything. Does it weigh more? My box weighs 20 pounds, 10 kilograms, 20 pounds. It's heavy. There's a lot in that box. It's 100% full. Does that cost a little for shipping? Yeah, it does. But, a long time ago in business, I learned a lesson that not every product is for every person. And I understand economics. There's been times growing up, we had a family of 6, and times weren't always easy growing up. As an adult, I've challenged myself to make sure that's not my situation going forward. And so while I'm doing okay, other people aren't okay. And I get that price point matters. But I think sometimes when we invest so much time in a game, invest in that experience, and it's going to provide you ample return for your money. Ample. We go to a movie, 2 people go to a movie, it's $50. If you buy a hot dog and drinks, it's $75. And my game is 2 movies. My game is 2 movies, and you have it forever. You know, and I would tell you, there's a lot of good games out there in that $100 to $200 space that you're going to be able to play forever for that investment. And so it is an investment. Invest in yourself. And I challenge developers to do a better job. Those mats will fit in the box. Figure out a way to make it happen.
That's the problem nowadays. People they play a game, they buy a game, they play it once, twice, it's gone. Yeah, it's the cult of the new. It's just like they sifting through, and maybe not even sifting through. Maybe they're just collecting the boxes. And so, yeah, price point does matter. But as you say, I have the same mentality as you. You know, the game is for life. You buy the game, it's there. You know, I have good memories of playing games with my family. They're still here, and I will play them again and again.
Well, really, what we're talking about is value. Yeah, and you take a look at value of what you're doing with Babblot. I mean, you've got custom, you know, Plano type of component trays for all of the bits, you know, neoprene mats for everything. The bits themselves are quite amazing. You know, a portable dice tray. Good grief.
Does it have metal coins?
It does not. There are no coins. I use crystals, little fancy crystals.
Yeah.
These are generic, but little. I don't know if I can hold them up without them falling everywhere.
Too late.
Yeah. Little crystals. But, and it's not just me. I challenge designers to find better solutions. Mat material is great. It's heavy, costs a little bit more, but if you have an experience, if you deliver an experience, Badger, you don't play it twice and put it away.
No.
If you've hit the mark and you deliver an experience, whether it's on a game topper and it enhances the experience, whether you put in a light over your table and it gives you speakers that you could play music to enhance your experience, those enhancements pay for themselves, I think.
Yeah. We had a situation where this was just a little while ago, because we have like 12 different thematic game mats, and our thematic mats were really designed to create an environment, not an image. So many of the mats I see out there are just like these beautiful pieces of art, but they're so busy that they kind of mess with the game a little bit. You know, visually, it's hard to play on them sometimes.
Or they have the name of the game on them.
Yeah, you know, and then they're specific to one thing, where ours are designed, you know, like our adventure mats, #1 selling mat, and it has this old world map look, kind of like Middle Earth, but you can play so many games on it. We played Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea from Gameland Games on it, but and it looked perfect on it. It just felt like we were there. We had Mission Red Planet.
If you play Omnitama on it, you'll lose the mat because it's just the same color.
The same color, yeah, exactly. You have the adventure mat, right, Barry?
Yeah, I do. And I played Omnitama on it, and I was like, "Where's the board ball?"
No, go get the red one.
Go get the red one.
So what we did was we had Mission Red Planet down, and it was actually on the adventure mat. But we put it out, and we had all of our little astronauts out there. And speaking of cool components, that's one of those games of cool little astronauts instead of little cardboard chits, right? So much better. But then we looked at each other and went, this doesn't fit, you know, which one of these don't go together? And we thought, well, we've already got the game set up. What do we do? You know, we sat there and screw it. Let's just take it all down. So we took it all apart, put it back in the box, threw the space mat down, played Mission Red Planet, and everybody at the table when we got done went, oh, that was so much better. We just felt like we were in space.
Right.
It's amazing how just a little nuance. Now, maybe some people just don't care, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
But for us, it was like this was a win. I mean, we're still talking about it.
Yeah, a little nuanced coins. I can't explain how much having poker chips in Splendor just, I don't know, it's therapeutic having those chips in your hand while you're waiting for other players to play, and you just clack them together. They could have been tokens, but they're chips.
They're chips.
It's just an upgrade. Coins, metal coins, you put them in a game, it just elevates the game up from paper money or tokens or whatever you use. Because it's something that you can relate to in the real world as well as something, in the game world.
Now, Rick has been over to my house, and Rick knows how many sets of coins I have.
Oh my God.
I mean, I am a nut. I'll give you a little clue, everyone. I did something kind of interesting. Can you see this case?
Nice.
Okay, this is a case that they run on sale at Hobby Lobby for 50% off, and you end up spending about $4. But it looks so cool, right? Well, in this particular case, I have all my Greek coins, and these are from Fantasy Coin LLC, which I really love. But they have them in all these different denominations and different sizes, and they're just these crazy, awesome coins. But here's one set. Look at this.
Yeah, mine's from Fantasy Coin as well. They're really, really nice.
Aren't they great?
Yeah.
Here's another little chest, and in this one here, I have my Paladin coins. So I've got the Queen on there.
They come in all shapes and forms and colors and different icons, which can match every single game that you have, which is the wonderful thing. You can make them look like old Roman pieces. And it just adds that, as you said, that little element to the game, that kind of experience.
Now look at this bad boy.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. We're going to turn the key.
Rick, is this show going to be like 12 hours long because of the chest that is full of coins?
Look at all of these coins. I got the Dwarven coins, the Roman coins. I mean, this thing here, this is so big it would choke a mule. But
Can I see the pack on the bottom? No, the coins that are right at the bottom of that box. Can I see?
Yeah, I'll just dump them out on the computer. I mean, I've got the feudal Japan coins that I just love, and I've got the atomic coins and the Dwarven coins and the orc coins, and so whatever game we're playing, I've got this whole set of coins from the Best Damn Gaming Coins company. Yeah. And there's like in 5 denominations in different sizes, and that stays in my Sheriff of Nottingham box all the time.
Kabuki's right. Metal coins are easy to upgrade, and they can be usable in tons of games.
But you're seeing a lot of companies now, surprisingly, because like you said, Rob, everybody's price conscious, so they want to make sure their game sells, but they're selling these things as add-ons, and they are selling because people want these coins. Paladins of the West Kingdom, they just did a campaign that was very successful, but in the campaign they said get your own custom coins for 40% off retail. So by pledging in the Kickstarter, they were able to sell the coins as an add-on. But that's a segment that I think is really growing, and it's all about what we're talking about.
Another segment which is growing is companies like Broken Token and Insert Here, which concentrate on how you store your game in your box. Again, I'm seeing publishers start to put time and effort into their inserts, as well as, the components themselves. They are spending time and actually making the game easy to set up from the get-go. As soon as you take that lid off, you just lift the rules off, and then you pull this tray out and put it there. The board's there, it goes there, and then you're ready to play. That is a vast difference to how board games used to be, where it was just like in a box, in baggies, and if you were lucky, you had baggies. Yeah.
Sometimes you had to buy your own baggies, right?
Yeah. Well, at the beginning, we had to buy our own baggies, and people were like, go and see. It's like drugs. You had to go and see your friend because he's got like he invested in about 50,000 of them. He's got a little big box. He said, "I need some baggies for this game." It's still like that. I go around my friend Philip Tapping Pocket, and I'll bring a new game, and he goes, you need a baggie for that because there's like some chips or some tokens we just punched out, and he said, there's nothing to put them in. It's like, you have some baggies. Go on, take some baggies, put them in there.
Well, and now inserts are getting so elaborate. You know, Ben from Daedalus Production helps me with Game Toppers and helped us with our dice towers, but he makes these amazing custom game inserts, but he's doing them in multiple stains and printing on them, so you know which slot is for which
what thing,
type of cards. And they're getting elaborate with mechanisms even in them. You know, Meeple Realty has some, you know, where the top's shut on their scythe insert and all kinds of interesting things.
I tell you what, when you take the time to deliver that experience, it can return results. Shout out to James Hudson and Grim Forest. The only reason I bought Grim Forest was because of the game tray and the way everything fits in that thing and how everything is stacked. I bought Grim Forest for the beauty of how the components are. Isn't that silly? Not for the game, but to see and that part of that experience, like you were saying, that you can take that stuff out and it's just there. If you've ever opened up, if you haven't, try it. But if you open up Grim Forest and look at how that fits in there, it's absolutely beautiful. Well done.
And again, kudos to Monolith for Claustrophobia. The way that everything stacks in the box is easy to get out, easy to stack away. You don't need little name tags. You can just see the holes and you just go, that goes there, and it all stacks into the box nicely. It's incredible. And it's great because it, as I said, it makes it easier to take the game out because everything's got its own little place, and then you can just set it up really easy. So kudos to publishers to start doing that instead of leaving it to us to upgrade. Especially over in Europe, it's very hard to get hold of Broken Token and Insert here because we have to pay for the flight costs.
Yeah.
Which is, you pay $20 for an insert, and then you pay $20 on top of that $20 just to have it delivered to your house. It all adds up for a small game that you bought for $20. So you got $60 for a $20 game.
Yeah, I think you're really right, too. And one of the things that kind of goes along with this, if we're talking production value, a lot of times has to do with art assets. You take a game that, like the game that just came out, Wingspan from Stonemaier Games. I mean, this beautiful little wooden eggs that are different colors to represent different birds with little component trays for them. You also have even a little birdhouse dice tower. But the card art by Beth Sorbel, Elizabeth Hardgrave and her team designed this game, but this artwork is just like spectacular. I enjoy wildlife, and I paint wildlife actually with watercolors. So to me, the experience of the art was just, when they made Scythe, I bought Scythe based on that artwork. Jacob Rabinski, who did those mechs in the background, and I mean, it was just like, ooh, what's going on here?
I'm a bit indifferent about Wingspan. It seems like some of the components are like, whoa, up here. And then some of them are like, way down here, back to square one, back to wooden cubes. It's like,
well, it's funny you say that because we played, Kay King came to help me at the GAMA Trade Show, Level Up Kay. And she's wonderful. And she has this 3D printer, and so she, instead of the chits for the actions, she made little birds that are setting in for each color, and then the resources for the worm and the mouse and all that stuff.
Yeah, I saw that. That was really good, and then that's what the game needed, because you have this super cool dice tower, and you have these beautiful card art, and then you have these nice big wooden cubes and the eggs, and then all of a sudden you've got tokens for the food, which is not too bad, and then you got the scoreboard, which is a piece of paper, and then you've got the card holder is okay, but it's like
there's right down to, so Wingspan right now you can't get it. This is probably a good example. You can't get it. They're on their 4th printing. Jamie's apologizing up and down that he didn't forecast this right because the demand has been so hot. People love the game. but that game has a $55 MSRP. You're seeing it at Cool Stuff $39 right now in the aftermarket.
Wow.
You're seeing people selling it for over $100 as is, which is craziness.
Yeah.
There was some eBay thing that somebody sold one for $1,600. It's so crazy stuff. But that aside, how much would that, if that game was a $99 retail and had the better bits in it, say it had those bits I just suggested, would the demand be the same as it is at the $55 price point?
I think for Jamie, probably it would be, because he has this attraction. He has this built-in draw. He has this built-in fan base, user base, you name it. I know he didn't do Wingspan himself. She did.
Right.
He's just the publisher, but he automatically provides that air of credibility. Little guys like me, we struggle to convince folks of our credibility. Jamie could have laid that out there at $99. I think he would have been greatly successful. Even $79. It wouldn't take another 10, 20 bucks to make sure that those bits were adequate for everything.
The wooden cubes were bird meeple, or as you said, what Kay did.
I think I agree with you, because
and fine.
I think I agree with you, and but I think that's the challenge that people struggle with, and knowing their market metrics, I guess.
Who am I to second guess Jamie and his greatness? So absolutely, we all look to his advice. So
that's a good, really good point, though. I think this is a great topic that I like your concept as far as how I purchase games, Rob, that I like to go all in. If it's a good game, that's what I really want, is I want that experience. And I would love it if, inserts particular, I don't really want to have to spend $50 to get a custom insert and then have to put it together. I do that because sometimes it's important to me. Right?
I don't want to do that, but I
do it. and they sit there unassembled sometimes.
You happen to have a great dice tower that sits on the side of the game topper that assembles. Oh, look at that!
Sometimes you make your own.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Disney will now be calling you. So, licensing department, they're gonna
Space Mountain.
So we've gone into quite depth about inside the box. Let's talk about quickly outside the box, things that we add on which are not necessarily needed, but we buy anyway, like these foldable flat packed component holders, or dice trays, you might want to call them, where you squeeze them together, you put the noodle through. These are from Board Game Geek that I have here.
Yeah, look at what Rob has in his game. It's fully, is that like a leathery type of material, or what is it?
It is leather.
Wow.
So you got this fold flat, and then they snap together like this, and now you've got a dice tray. And for me, when I separate them, I'm going to reach over here and grab the other one, I use it as a component holder. If I were to place all my planets and my moons and my asteroids in the middle, I can snap this closed, and now it holds all of them. It gets fat in the center.
Wow.
If I force it, it gets fat.
How many of those do you have in the game?
Two. They're leather. They're in the box, but that's exactly what you were just showing, Badger. Yeah. It's just that. So yeah, exactly.
Kay had one of those that was similar to that. She had this big plastic folder with all of her roll and write games that were laminated, and she had one just like that she sat inside of that folder to have the portable, because they lay flat.
You mentioned the box. Can I do a pitch on a box real fast? Do you mind?
Oh yeah, no, not
all right.
At all.
So we talked about the box, and outside the box, we all look at box art, right? How about taking the time to make sure that if it's on the shelf like this, it's right reading. If it's on the shelf like this, it's right reading. If it's on the shelf like this, it's right reading. If it's on the shelf like this, it's right reading. Exactly. You just turned your head sideways. How many games do we have on our shelves that are wrong reading? It's not hard.
None.
Think about it. Right.
Think about it. Think about it.
To think about making sure that your product shows correctly every time on the shelf. That's not hard to do, but it's those little things that I think publishers miss. They just don't even think about it. And you know why? Because they're not gamers like we are. They're publishers.
Yeah.
They're not gamers. And so I took the box and made sure it doesn't matter which way you have that box on your shelf, you can see Over Battle right there, right? So
I like that.
Little things. How many games could do an upgrade? I'm trying to see what it says. I'm like, I got a crack in my neck. Which one do I have?
Yeah,
that's my soapbox. No box in
No, that's wonderful. I think you've really done a bang up job on the production, and everything I hear about everybody that plays this game really looks great. So I appreciate your perspective on this topic, Rob. I think as a gamer you bring, and as a designer, you've incorporated the things that you enjoy about gaming, and I just think that's spectacular.
Thank you. There's so many things we can do outside the box. A game topper is outside the box, right?
Yeah.
It's a product that
you don't necessarily need, but when you have it, it's like it just adds an air to your gaming experience. Again, card holders as well, like that. You know, it just makes playing a game a little bit more easier, and at the same time a little bit more elegant.
And I would tell you that one particularly, it seems like it's silicone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome, right? It's not plastic.
No.
It has a different textile feel, different dexterity, a component to it. I love that that's silicone.
Yeah.
I would buy that over
use
plastic
it to,
all day long.
You can use it to put your tokens in as well as hold your cards, and it comes in different colors, so you can remember what color player you are if you need to. It's fantastic. We're so lucky now that all this stuff is coming out, and all of it is to make our game experience at the table that much better.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
well, I think we've explored this topic pretty well.
Yeah,
and
we could go on. we could do another half hour of game toppers and talk about how important it is to have your drink sat in the right position.
Well, speaking of silicone, we've actually are going to a new collapsible cup holder with rubberized silicone. So we can talk about that, but it's the same concept. How do we get better? How do we do better? How do we have more fun with this stuff?
It'd be nice to put the cup holders on the corners as opposed to in that side section as I'm designing your game topper for you.
Yeah.
You got a slot for the corners. And I love the fact that a collapsible cup, the brass cups are nice, but that's probably the one element that is the most
hard
difficult
to transport.
Store. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We talked about putting a little Velcro strap right there at the two handles for the carrying case. So when the carrying case goes together, if there's just a piece of Velcro that straps the two handles together, it'll hold that case together like this, as opposed to letting the case just flop back open. So there's a design element, but game toppers are solid anyway. I mean, it's just and it's not a product you have to have.
The next progressional step is holographic projected board games.
Wow.
And you just buy the game topper with a holographic projector on it, and you can play any game that you want.
I want to do an augmented reality where I put an image on the play surface on the board itself, and then when you look at it through your phone, something else happens. And so watch for that. I'm working on that now.
Cool.
Yeah, so totally different.
Well, with that, I think we're going to close up the show here. It's been fantastic talking about bits and pieces with Rob McBride from Scyther Gaming and his new game, Over Battle, that is on Kickstarter right now. You'll see in the show notes a dedicated link there to be able to go look at Scyther Gaming and check out their Kickstarter. I think you have about 28 days or something that left on the campaign, and you can see all the awesome gamer goodness that's included in that game. And I tell you what, it's a pot load of stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, we just started on the Kickstarter, so thank you for the shout out. Overbattle.com. Overbattle.com will take you right to the Kickstarter page.
Where else can everybody else find you, Rob?
Facebook, Scyther Gaming, and Overbattle on Facebook. During the 30-day window when you've got a Kickstarter, you're pretty heads down. You're focused on the Kickstarter itself. Those people are willing to take a pledge and put in $179. they deserve my time every day. So that's where I'm at. But you can find us on Facebook and Scyther Gaming, Twitter and Instagram, Scyther Gaming Co. I've got graphics and images and a lot of art and things of that out there. But overbattle.com take you right to the Kickstarter.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on the show, and thank you everyone for joining us. You can check us out at the Board Game Geek Guild 2248 for more Berkey and Badger, and of course Barry does our amazing post-production. He really does an amazing job. When I listen to these after the fact, I'm so amazed at what he puts into the production value of the audio show that's available on iTunes. Oh, see, now he's sleeping. Yeah. he can't take a compliment, but it's the truth. No. So you can find us at iTunes, and you can find us on Stitcher. You can also find us on Facebook, Berkey and Badger Board Game Babble Show, and likewise on Twitter.
Thank you. Did I make it out of the dungeon?
No. but we could be bribed with a great big box of goodness.
Nice. I didn't know if I had to expect another knight in chains down here or not. So I'll just settle in and prepare for my bread and water. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Well, thank you so much. Do you have anything you want to say to close out, Barry?
No, you need to shoot off. So good night, everybody.
All righty. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.
We're so glad we had this time together, and now it's time to go. It won't be long until we have another show. So keep us in mind, get online. Berkey and Badger will be back in no time.
There we go.